السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us to witness this day of Jum'ah in one of the holy months which we find ourselves in, the month of Dhul Hijjah. It is indeed a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Usually our teachers, they always recommend us, at least for someone, when he happened to witness this month of Dhul Hijjah, the minimum that someone can do, at least to try to observe the fasting during this month of Dhul Hijjah. The Prophet ﷺ does recommend us one of those actions that we can do and release ourselves during this holy month of Dhul Hijjah is a fasting. If someone can, they are able to fast at least 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, the more you're going to make, that is the more reward you're going to attain from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned in a hadith, Sumu Ashur al-Hurum Matruk, that fast as much you can during this Ashur al-Hurum, and also, which means that the Prophet ﷺ didn't fast the entire month of Dhul Hijjah, but he could fast some days of Dhul Hijjah and also he could stop. Another advice also that I can share to myself before you is also to try someone to try and understand for the Salat al-Tahajjud or Salat al-Witr. There is a hadith of Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhuma. Once Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhuma was sleeping and he saw in his dream 2 malaks coming to dragging him towards the fire. Then when he was on his way direct to the fire, he asked Allah, he started to make a dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should protect him from going to the fire. Then he said, I happened to realize few people that I happened to know from before. Then, upon seeing that, Ibn Umar he woke up and immediately he rushed to see his sister, Hafsa anha, who's a wife also of the Prophet. Then he started to mention to him about the dream, that what he saw from his dreams. Then the Prophet he mentioned that name al-abd Abdullah لو كان يقوم من الليل. What a wonderful slave Abdullah, if only he could be standing for the night and make the Salat al-Layl. The ulama, they mentioned, comment on this hadith, one of the ulama, Al-Alama Munawi, rahimahullah, when he explained this hadith, he said that for someone to stand during the time of night, then that is sufficient for him to be a protection for the fire of Jahannam. So now, this is an encouragement for myself and from you. It's easier when sometimes you find yourself during the time of Ramadan for you to stand up and you make salah. But when you come after the months of Ramadan, maybe sometimes it becomes a bit hard for someone to stand up during the time of night. But you always remember, the Prophet ﷺ used to make a dua. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min as-salbi ba'da al-'ata. The Prophet ﷺ used to seek refuge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after he already blessed you with a bounty, to take it away. So this is a bounty from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you see yourself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring you to the masjid, you find yourself, you fasting during these days, you find yourself standing up at night, that is blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we must, so that we keep this ni'mah, this bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we always have to make dua, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't take and snatch this bounty that He blessed us with during this time. So this is the advice. First thing, to try someone to fast. Try to at least also to stand up, whatever you can during the time of night. If you don't happen to wake up and to make salah, at least if you do get up and your eyes are open, make at least one dhikr. Because in the Qiyam al-Layl, you don't necessarily, if you can, stand up and make salah, but if you can't, at least stand up and make one dhikr, La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. And you're going to be written from those people who woke up and make their ibadah. As the third advice that I would like to share is that someone try to give as much of sadaqah, whatever sadaqah you capable of. If someone is able to give one rand, 2 rand, 3 rand, according to your capability to give. It comes from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that once the Prophet ﷺ said, Dirhamun sabaqa mi'ata alf dirham. One is the Prophet ﷺ, he saw 2 people. One of those people, he gave 1 dirham, but another one gave 100,000 dirham. But the Prophet ﷺ said, the one who gave 1 dirham, his reward was more than the one who gave 100,000 dirham. The reason behind is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, He does accept the quantity, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always look at the quality. The one who gave 1 dirham, he had only 2 dirham, so he gave half of what he has. And the one who gave 100,000 dirham, he had the lot, but he chose from what he doesn't need and he gave that. Which means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always look at the quality of what you do. So during this month, try at least, see if you can fast, whatever you can, you are able to. See if you can try and stand up always during these 10 days of the Hijjah. If you're going to be able to stand up during these 10 days of the Hijjah, it may be a reason that it is going to become part of your practice. After the Hijjah also is going to be able to stand. The last one is that of trying and give the sadaqah. The advice that I would like to share with during this day is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he mentioned, إِذَا مَرَرْتُمْ بِرِيَاضِ الْجَنَّةِ فَارْتَعُوا قِيلَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَمَا رِيَاضُ الْجَنَّةِ قَالَ حِلَقُ الذِّكْرِ. The Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned that if you pass by the gardens of Jannah, إِذَا مَرَرْتُمْ بِرِيَاضِ الْجَنَّةِ فَارْتَعُوا. Now there are few things that if we have to speak about this hadith, there are few points that can be made a highlight from this hadith. The first thing the Prophet ﷺ addressed, that if you pass by where there is a majlis of dhikr or a majlis of ilm taking place, فَارْتَعُوا. The first thing, if you know the Arabic language, فَارْتَعُوا, this is a command. So the Prophet ﷺ, in other way, what are you going to do about the command of the Prophet ﷺ? The Prophet ﷺ is addressing you, is speaking to you, that if you pass by and you find a place where there is a dhikr taking place, there is a majlis of ilm taking place, فَارْتَعُوا. This is a command, which means me and you need to take heed of this command. The second thing that we learn is that the way the raka in Arabic language, the Prophet ﷺ didn't choose to say, فَحْضُرُوا, be present at the majlis of dhikr. Or maybe sit at the majlis of the dhikr. But the Prophet ﷺ used the word ruku', which means is when someone comes to a place and this place is full, is plenty of nice good things, and the Prophet ﷺ said, try to benefit from that place where there is a lot of things taking place. So this is also this form of majlis we finding ourselves in on the day of Jum'ah. Then the Prophet ﷺ, when he was referring to this type of majalis, the Prophet ﷺ, he called them Riyadul Jannah. Riyadul Jannah, garden from Jannah. The reason being that this type of majalis, they are means for someone getting into Jannah. The Riyadul Jannah, this majalis of the dhikr, the majalis al-ilm, they are called Riyadul Jannah, gardens of Jannah, because they are reason that someone can go be admitted into Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith, Man saraka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman sahara Allahu lahu bihi tariqan ila al-Jannah. That when someone take a path and go to seek and seek knowledge, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is one translation when you can say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to ease your way into Jannah. But there is another, some ulama, they say, you actually in Jannah already. So you make sure you don't deviate and find yourself somewhere else. Man saraka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman sahara Allah. You already in the way of Jannah. So you just have to make sure you continue in the same direction. Don't find yourself somewhere else. So this is a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the reason why the Prophet ﷺ, when he spoke about this type of majalis, he called them majalis riyad al-jannah. Because this type of gathering, they are a reason for someone going to Jannah. The second reason, another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, when he was asked, Ma ghanimatu majalis al-dhikr, what the fruit, what do I get from the attending this type of majalis? The Prophet ﷺ mentioned, Ghanimatu majalis al-dhikr al-jannah. The guarantee that we're going to have for someone attending a place where there's going to be ilm mentioned, there's going to be dhikr taking place, there's going to be Quran being recited, the ghanimah and the prize that we're going to get from that is the Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how can a Muslim deprive themselves of those such type of gathering? So therefore, it's very important for a Muslim, a believer, whether they find themselves, that they don't deprive themselves of majalis of dhikr, the majalis of ilm, the majalis of halal and haram. The Prophet ﷺ, from another hadith, when he spoke about this type of gathering, he said, Al-Baytu alladhi yuqra'u fihi al-Qur'an. The Prophet ﷺ, so it's not necessary that you should be in the masjid. Wherever place you're going to find yourself, there is going to be dhikr taking place. You're going to be reciting Quran. There is a ilm that is going to be mentioned. When he mentioned, he said, Al-Baytu alladhi yuqra'u fihi al-Qur'an yatara'a li ahli as-samah kama tatara'a al-nujum li ahli al-ard. That the place where knowledge and the Quran is going to be recited, those houses start to shine for those people who dwell in the heavens. Somehow the stars, they shine for those people who stay in the earth. So what type of majalis? So therefore it's very important for someone, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses you with a house, don't deprive your house of Quran, of dhikr, of ilm, so that your house, imagine how when you look up at night and you see the stars, how they are shining. So those people also, the malaika, they're in the heaven, that's how they see your house. If there is going to be Quran recited, if there is going to be dhikr which is going to be mentioned, if there is going to be the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to be mentioned, the Prophet ﷺ, your house also is going to be shining, same how the stars are shining. The Prophet ﷺ also mentioned another hadith. So the first reason why this majalis, they are called the gardens of Jannah, that was the first reason, because they are the reason, they are a means, this type of majalis, and the gathering, they are the means someone can attain the Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second reason is that those people who sit in this type of majalis, in this type of gathering, يُفِيدُ عَلَيْهِمْ مَا يُفِيدُ اللَّهُ لِأَهْلِ السَّمَاءِ. The same thing that happened to those people, or the malaika staying in the heavens, is going to be the same that happened on those people who sit and attend this type of gathering. If someone is going to be in Jannah, we always hear, لَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. The people in Jannah, they don't worry about anything. No here, there is no depression, there is no bad heart feeling, there is no someone, you don't have to worry about anything. About worries is here in dunya. Once the dunya is done, the worry and the concern also is done. So the people of Jannah, one of their sifat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bless with them, لَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Similar way, this type of majalis, those people who sit in this type of majalis, they have the same great tidings. It comes from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that once the Prophet ﷺ, he was busy addressing the community, the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala, then he saw three people coming to the majlis. One of them, he saw a place, a spot which was open, and he made sure he tried to sit on that spot. Then the second one, he was shy about himself, then he didn't come in front, then he sat at the back and hide himself. Then there is a third one, instead of coming or trying to find a spot which is open for him to sit, he just stayed behind. The Prophet ﷺ, after concluding his speech, Then the Prophet ﷺ addressed the community and he said, أَلَا أُخْبِرُكُمْ عَنْ نَفْرِ ثَلَاثًا. Should I not tell you about those three people? He said, أَمَّا الْأُولَى, as for the first one, فَأَوَى إِلَى اللَّهِ فَأَوَاهُ اللَّهِ. The first one, he sought and took refuge and he wanted the refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted his refuge. So if someone is under the custody and someone is under the refuge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do you think he's going to be worried about anything? Do you think he's going to be scared of anything? فَمَنْ وَجَدَ اللَّهِ فَقَدْ وَجَدَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ وَمَنْ فَقَدَ اللَّهِ لَمْ يَجِدَ شَيْئًا. The one who has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does he have to worry about? So this first one who came, what happened to him? The Prophet ﷺ said, فَأَوَى إِلَى اللَّهِ فَأَوَاهُ اللَّهِ. He took refuge, he wanted the refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted him. As for the second one, إِسْتَحْيَا مِنَ اللَّهِ فَاسْتَحَى اللَّهُ مِنْهُ. The second one, he was shy about himself, maybe because of what his daily practice, and because of that, his shyness, and how humble himself he is. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also was kind to him because of his shyness. As for the one who turned away, أَعْرَضَ, then فَأَعْرَضَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. That one who just turned away, also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't give him attention and also turned away from him. So this is the virtues that we find this type of majalis. How lucky as a Muslim if you hear this statement from the Prophet ﷺ. Remember, the Prophet ﷺ said, فَرْتَعُوا. The Prophet ﷺ is commanding you, when you find yourself, you hear of those type of majalis, you make sure you find yourself in those majalis. Another hadith from the Prophet ﷺ, when he speaks about this type of majalis, مَجْتَمَعَ قَوْمٌ فِي بَيْتٍ مِّن بُيُوتِ اللَّهِ يتلون القرآن ويتدارسون فيما بينهم إلا نزلت عليهم السكينة وغشيتهم الرحمة وحفتهم الملائكة وذكرهم الله في من عنده. That when people they attend this type of majalis, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first thing that they're going to get, they have sakina. Today a lot of people suffering for depression, they don't know what to do with their life. You attending a majlis of a dhikr, immediately you're going to have sakina, tranquility. The second thing, who doesn't want the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by attending a majlis where there is Quran being recited, where there is a dhikr taking place, where is halal and haram, your people is going to be learning the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall you. Then, not only that, even the malaika attend this type of gathering, then at the end of majlis, your name is going to be mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَذَكَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ بِمَنْ عِنْدَهُ. So how people become proud if someone who's very famous happen to mention your name, maybe on Facebook, maybe on Instagram, maybe on WhatsApp, maybe make status about you. How you want to feel if someone is famous? Now here, Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to mention your name, that you're so and so. Even the name of your father also is going to be mentioned. Fulan, so and so. Today, at this particular minute, this hour, on this day, on this precious day of Jum'ah, he was sitting and he was remembering him. How glad we are for someone that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you to be a Muslim and you happen to find yourself in this type of majalis. From another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the third reason why these majalis, they are the majalis, the Prophet ﷺ referred them to Riyadh al-Jannah, gardens of Jannah, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Inna lillahi tabarak wa ta'ala malaikata sayyara, another riwayah, sayyahin, fudla yatatabba'una majalis al-dhikr. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have malaika, fudla, they don't have other duty. Their duty is only to go out and look and find out those majalis where there is a ilm, there is a dhikr, there is Quran, that is being taking place. Then when they find those majalis, that's all there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them for that is only responsibility. When they come to those gatherings, then they partake and they sit in those majalis. يَتَتَبَّعُونَ. Now the word also that is used is not yatba, they go to find out. No, they make sure walk in the look around so that they can find this type of majalis. يَتَتَبَّعُونَ مَجَالِسَ الذِّكْرِ. Now, what happens if they find those majalis? What they're going to do about it? They're going to sit until when the majalis is finished. When the majalis is finished, what they do? They just wait. When the people who are sitting in the majalis, they also sa'idu. They go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the point I want to mention, the last part of the hadith, the malaika, they say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say that everybody will sit in that majlis. So therefore, this type of majlis is a means of Allah attaining someone's forgiveness. So you attend the majlis of dhikr, majlis of ilm, majlis of Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to forgive you. Now the malaika, they are starting to question, Ya Allah, but there is someone who came to that majlis. His intention wasn't about the Masai which was mentioned about fiqh, something about the Quran. He just came for his other reason. Maybe he was waiting for someone else. Maybe he was on his phone. Maybe he was just trying to finish his time. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds, وَلَهُ غَفَرْتُ. Him also is forgiven. Then the hadith complete at the end of when the malaika, they were speaking about that slave, they say that رَبِّ فِيهِمْ فُلَانٌ عَبْدٌ خَطَّاءٌ. When the malaika they spoke about that slave, they say someone who's continuously sinning. And they talk about with that, they say he wasn't even part of the majlis. They come with other reason. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed the Prophet in his Mubarak mouth, and they say, وَلَهُ غَفَرْتُ. Him also is forgiven. هُمُ الْقَوْمُ لَا يَشْقَى بِهِمْ جَلِسُهُ. They are such people that even the one who sits with them, even if they have a negative intention, him also, because of the blessing of being with them, him also is going to be forgiven. How lucky we are that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, me and you, He blessed us with this ni'mah of being a Muslim. Ni'mah of Iman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the reason why He allowed us to hear this message is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us also to practice. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could maybe give us another message, but maybe the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us this message is because maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would like us so that we can make sure in our life also, we make sure we put out the time there that we can sit in the majalis of dhikr, majalis of ilm, so that we can attain this reward. I will end with the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. One Sahabi, Qabisa, he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he complained. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I'm so old and also I'm becoming weak. What should I do with my life? So the Prophet ﷺ, he encouraged him about the majlis of ilm and the majlis of dhikr. At the end, the Prophet ﷺ, he told him, Ya Qabisa, ما مررت بحجر ما مررت بحجر ولا شجر ولا مدر إلا استغفر لك. That when you are on your way of attending this type of majalis of dhikr and the ilm, any tree that you pass by, rocks that you pass by, is going to seek forgiveness for you. How lucky we are. I would like to end and conclude. One of our ulama, he used to say, أفضل العلم علم الحال وأفضل العمل عمل حفظ الحال. That the best of knowledge that someone can seek is that knowledge of what you need in your life. It's not for everybody to come and go to madrasa and spend 6 or 10 years or 20 years of studies. But the best thing that someone can do is to learn what you need in your life. For someone that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open up for them to be business people, then they need to know rules and regulations about the business. If someone becomes mukallaf and they become valid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is made it compulsory upon you. You need to know how to make your salah, how to make your tahara, how to make your ghusl, because now you become mukallaf. That ilm is compulsory upon you. If someone, a young person that is willing, you want to get married, then it becomes compulsory upon you also that you should learn those rules and regulations that are attached to marriage, because that is the ilm that becomes compulsory upon you. And if we find ourselves in these days, and someone had learned before and they want to go for Hajj, then it becomes compulsory upon them to learn that ilm, because now for them it's compulsory for them to learn that knowledge, because that is their ilm of the Hajj, that's what they need at the moment. أفضل العلم علم الحال وأفضل العمل حفظ الحال. And the best of practice that we do is not for me and you, that we hear the story of Ali Zayn al-Abidin, who used to perform 1,000 of rakah. Then immediately me also I decided I want to start with 1,000 rakah. Start with what you able and become more. If your state is mashallah, every day you make your fard salah, make sure you continue making your fard salah. If tomorrow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, you are able to make some sunnah also, now you make sure you maintain what you are doing. So you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allow us to be من الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم يا من وفق أهل الخير خير وعنهم عليه، وفقنا للخير وعنا عليه، لا تحرمنا خير ما عندك شر ما عندنا، تب علينا توبة نصوحا، طهرنا بها قلبا وجسما وروحا، أخرج من قلوبنا كل كدر الدنيا وكل محل الخير يميل بنا إلى معصيتك وشنع طاعتك، أو يحول بيننا وبين التحقق بالمعرفة الخاصة ومحبة الخالصة. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين.